ball? Where'd the ball?
I have to be honest. My bloody umbrella went somewhere, and I've got 3 other girls that are chasing a mad ball.
The ball.
Worst day.
Let's have a little fly. Can we take it for a little ride?
Oh, she yeah.
I've tamed a couple of wild lovers in my time, but I've never tamed a wild flamingo.
Oh, what a gentleman.
I've pretty much seen it all. I've rescued 5,000 people out in the water. I've rescued a wombat on the shoreline.
Stop. There you go. That's what happened.
Today I was challenged by a blow-up flamingo.
Hey Harries, no flamingos on the beach.
To the Bondi Rescue Chat Show live on the Bondi Rescue YouTube channel. I'm your host, Steve Crombie, and today we have a very special guest, which is the infamous Harries from Bondi Rescue.
Hey guys,
how are
you?
Yeah. Thanks, Harries. Thank you very much for joining us all the way from your lovely home with you and your family. We're going to come back to you very shortly. Wait, I saw a family shadow there somewhere. But anyway, thank you for getting up so early to join us. For those of you that don't know Harries, here is a little compilation that our friends from Bondi Nation let us steal from their TikTok channel to show you a little bit of a background about who Harries really is.
And I'm telling you, Bob, with a body like that, a face like that, and legs like hers, she's gonna be a Victoria's Secret supermodel.
What do you think of that, buddy?
Wow, yeah. Since I've had kids, wearing a dress might just send them a bit crazy. Yeah. If it looks good and it feels good, just do it.
Absolutely, you've got amazing kids, so you got to be showing those things off. But as you can see, Harries has a smile bigger than the Harbour Bridge and a tan probably slightly better than the Kardashians, and a heart of gold. So we're very happy to have Harries here with us today. So thank you for joining us. And also special thanks to everyone around the world from all different parts of the world. I think we've got over 100 countries in here at the moment who are in the live stream. See you guys in the comments. Natasha Bowles telling us the snow in Birmingham, England. Reapify, who's all the way from Norway. Rachel, who's also in England, all sorts of other different countries. So thank you guys for joining us. This is our first ever Bondi Rescue live stream for 2021. Please feel free to make the comments on the right. And also don't forget to use Super Chat, which is a little function on YouTube, because there are so many comments, it's hard for us to read them all. And the Super Chat ones we will definitely read out when we get the chance. So let's jump into the episode. We have 5 different segments today. 1, we're going to find out what Harries does when he is not a lifeguard, which is going to be interesting, I think, for a lot of people. 2, we're going to watch some of our favorite moments of Harries in action on Bondi Rescue. We're going to stalk Harries in the darknet to see what sort of weird and wonderful things we can find about Harries that even he might not remember. We've also got a special themed game around Harries, which we're going to be playing with 3 special guests who are fans from around the world who won a competition across our social channels, across Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. We're going to be bringing them into this game live. And finally, we've got our own Reddit-style AMA sort of super chat where we get to answer your questions. So again, anyone who uses super chat, we will be answering your questions in this live stream and let you know the answer via Harries. Okay, so firstly, Harries, it's been a pretty insane year for the last year for everyone in COVID times. How are you coping with that craziness?
Yeah, it's so different this year because we just have barely no tourists at all down on the beach, and you know the rescues have been down. We haven't been doing a lot of rescues at this time of the year. We're generally up to about 1,000 rescues, rescuing people from pretty much every country throughout the world. So yeah, it's been good for lifeguarding. It's been fun for us, but it's a little sad too because Bondi is such an iconic place and a landmark for Sydney to represent to the rest of the world, and there's just hardly any tourists down there. They really showcase what Bondi is. They put on a show. They create Bondi Rescue, the tourist, and you know, they've become our best friends. It's quite funny. There's no one from the UK, you know, the Pommies, the Irish. I miss rescuing you.
That's lovely, man. Well, I think all the people who are on this live stream right now would do anything to be in Bondi because it's obviously a very difficult time for everybody. And so I guess what's it like out of interest? You know, you've been lifeguarding for so long. How many rescues have you actually done since you started being a lifeguard? I think you started in 1996. Is that right?
Yeah, I started lifeguarding in 1996, and I never thought I'd be in this situation of still lifeguarding number one. But to do the amount of rescues that I've done down on Bondi Beach and the adjacent beaches to Bondi, Bronte and Tamarama, it's like I'm over around 5,500 rescues now, which is incredible. And it's not like something I've been an accounting game on either, but in the last year, just surfing alone, I've pulled 230 people in on my surfboard, and that's not working. So to give you that,
wow.
So that's how many rescues you do as a lifeguard. Being a lifeguard, you're passionate and driven, obviously, about saving lives. But you know, my favorite hobby is surfing, and I'm out in the water, so you're always picking up on particular characters and signs and symptoms of people that when they're in distress. And so yeah, the numbers are astonishing. I'm really proud and humbled to be able to do that for people. No one's ever drowned on my watch in my 25-year career, which means a lot to me. You know, that every person that has come down to the beach, we're talking about probably 1 billion people have passed through those beaches, and no one's ever drowned on my watch. And so, you know,
absolutely.
It's all good about promoting yourself, but for me to give those skills and knowledge to the rest of the lifeguards and the volunteer lifesavers down on the beach, to give what I'm looking at, what's going through my head and what I'm looking at through my eyes, and give that skill back to the rest of the lifeguards, you know, that means everyone's going to go home to their family and loved ones, and it's going to be that special moment each night.
That's great. That's amazing. And of course, behind every amazing man like yourself is an amazing woman. How have you and your beautiful family been over this COVID time? You got spend a bit more time with the family?
Yeah, through this crazy time, you know, the pandemic, obviously the beaches were closed, and my boys are like, what the hell's going on here? They've got fences up at my beach. They call it their beach, you know. It's like, there's only one king of Bondi, but, you know, it was really hard to explain to the kids that, you know, we've got a disease that's passed through every country in the world, and we're extremely lucky that we're not in lockdown and that we can still walk along the promenade. We can still get down to the beach. The beach was only closed for a short period of time. So, yeah, my kids, they're back in the water down at the beach, social distancing, and my gorgeous wife. Well, at every beach, everybody has a sexy mermaid, and that's my wife.
So speaking of your lovely wife, Emily, I think you guys recently had your 8-year anniversary when you proposed to her on Bondi Rescue. So congratulations on that. And I think we have a clip lined up to show you guys at home exactly how that happened.
I'm going up into a helicopter above Bondi. I'm going to drop on one knee and say, marry me, Em. Hope this comes off. Oh, look at the tower. No way. The tower. Oh, my God.
Ah.
Look at it. What's down? Wow. Em?
Yeah. Oh.
Will you marry me,
Oh
darling?
my God.
300. Was that a yes?
Yes, I don't even say yes. Oh, really? Oh.
What was it like reminiscing on that? Is Em up onto the side? You can drag her in for a bit so we can see that she's real.
She's here. Come in, darling. Come in. Here she is. Yes.
There we go. Hello.
Hi.
Do you ever reflect on what it was like way back then being proposed to live on Bondi Rescue? Was that a bit of a weird experience?
Yeah, really weird. I actually only watched it fully this year, that episode. I've seen bits of it, but I just never bring myself to watch the whole thing. So I did that this year with Boris. So that was on our anniversary, actually. I think it was on.
Yeah, it's a
It was very funny. It looks like you guys really struggled with the microphones. You were trying to do that, like, seal it with the kiss thing, but the mic was just kept getting in the way.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, no, it's funny, you know. Like, I remember the waves were getting the waves were perfect at Bondi on that day, and I was looking down, going, "That's the best thing to look at, the waves, to take my mind off, just making sure I get this right." You know, I remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Em's like off camera. Em said to me, she goes, "Have you asked my dad?"
The uncut version is the amazing to see. Because I saw the sign, I was like, "Oh, look, someone's getting engaged. That's nice." Like, and then he's like,
And it was you.
It was
beautiful. It was beautiful, guys. Thank you so much for letting us share that. It was an amazing experience to watch on TV. And thank you so much, Em, for jumping in on that. It was hilarious. Right. I just want to ask, right? Oh yeah, no worries at all. So the big question is, we all want to know, is outside being a father, husband, and lifeguard, like, how else do you actually fill your time? Because you're a lifeguard, you're now married, you've got 2 kids. I'm sure you probably don't really have time to do anything else.
Well, yeah, being a lifeguard's a great job, but I really want to be a good provider for my family. So, and we're passionate about Pilates, Em and I. So about 10 years ago, I started doing a lot of Pilates and thought this would just be the best thing ever to complement what I do as a lifeguard. So yeah, I got right into doing Pilates with Em, and literally I'm still addicted. It's Pilates is the equivalent of having a surfboard under my arm. They're both that equal thing, and having my wife on the other arm, of course.
Speaking of your wife, Emily, I was going to say, you're getting a lot of comments in the live stream, Emily, like heaps and heaps, from Alana saying hi, Emily, Zaid saying hi, Sarah saying hi, Taylor Plays is saying hi to both of you. So they're all stoked to see you. So thank you for quickly jumping in. I appreciate that.
My God.
Well, they're not really saying hello to you anymore, Harries. Your wife's still on the show. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. He'll die if I say that.
She'll trade me in for a young fella, I know it.
We're going to move on to the next section. So thank you very much, Emily. We're going to bring it back to Harries. Okay, so Harries, you've got, I think, well, you're out. Thank you so much. Harries, I believe you've got, did you say you've got an app? I think a little bit of your app, something. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've created a Bondi Harries app on Pilates exercises. I've kept it really funny, and like tried to not to make it too serious. There's about 70 hours of footage on the app. I'm one of those people that's kind of the larrikin lifeguard, but I have studied through to experts throughout America and throughout Canada, leading spinal specialists from Canada, which is Dr. Stuart McGill, and a leading physio throughout America, which is Gray Cook, FMS, Functional Movement Systems. And then I studied Pilates, of course. So I'm right into...
For 10 years, right?
Exercises. Well, everyone in Bondi is like, they call themselves the wellness wagon in Bondi. But my wellness wagon and Pilates for me, and having this app, is about how long I can pretty much save lives. Those exercises for me are pretty much how I execute my rescues, like mobility, stability, and being able to lift a load, that prime mover, so.
That's amazing. And speaking of your rescues, we've actually got some episode moments of you in action to show that your Pilates moves do help you do some pretty cool stuff. So we're actually going to show some amazing scenes of you in action. I think we've got some from your earliest days, some from your latest days, and some from Bondi Rescue Bali. So I'm going to run through a few of these right now. So I think you've been down there for 15 years. We're going into the 16th year of Bondi Rescue. You've been lifeguarding since 1996. For those of you who haven't watched any of this content, by the way, we've released the full series of Bondi Rescue Bali on the YouTube channel. So go to, obviously already on the YouTube channel, that's stupid. We've got a playlist there. You can see all the episodes. If we get above 2 million views a video, we'll see if we can go make another one in Indonesia. Let's see. But before we do that, let's roll the clip. The first one from Bondi Rescue Bali.
Test 1, the physical.
Could you get up? Follow me. Yes.
One more?
Yes, one more. Thank you.
They said I'm mentally insane. I don't know why, but Tom Wood, I don't know what to do. I didn't pass.
Tidak bagus? Bagus?
Good, normal.
Normal, see? In Australia, we do the same, but we come in like this for Australian kangaroo. Like this.
Like kangaroo.
Like kangaroo. Toing, toing.
So, can you tell us exactly what's going on in this video? What are you doing?
Okay, when you're in Bali, you might know, if you don't know, so many people in Asia ride motorbikes, and we did a really stringent test on the motorbikes in Bali. But before that, you have to do a physical and mental assessment of the person, and I just loved it so much because they literally they're not that accustomed to wearing helmets or steel cap boots when they ride their scooters over there, their motorbikes. So yeah, to have such a rigid test, I thought it was so funny. And I've been riding motorbikes over there since I was a kid. So that was so much fun. I mean, there's nothing worse than laughing at yourself. That's when you know you're going crazy, and I'm doing that now.
Yeah, it was hilarious, man. It's awesome to see you back in the day and see you today. It's great. You've lived an amazing life. So we've got a few live chat questions for you. One is from Fairy Eerie. She says, hello from Ireland. Hello, Fairy. Actually, that should be to Harries, not to me. Please. Another person, Rachel Holmes, says hello from Wisconsin, USA. Hey guys. And then Yash Patel says, I just downloaded the app and I will check it out soon after the live. That's very cool. So the app is called Bondi Harries. No, is that what it's called? No, Harries Bondi.
No, Harries Bondi. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
thanks so much for downloading it too.
There you go, Yash. Thank you. And the Emerald Cube has a question. The Emerald Cube YouTube says, I have a question. Is being on TV different to being a lifeguard in day-to-day life? And by the way, I'm from Birmingham. So is being on TV different from being a lifeguard in day-to-day life?
Well, not really. It's very fly on the wall kind of situation, whereas the cameras will just follow us around doing our job. The good thing about Bondi is Bondi's a place where a lot of people do come to be spotted or seen. It's a little bit like the Venice Beach kind of scene. So, you know, everyone wants to be seen on a camera at Bondi. But for us guys, we're just so used to having the cameras down there. It definitely does not affect the way we execute our role on the beach. I think having the cameras there definitely makes us work better. You know, we're out on the beach a lot more. You know, we're aware that everything that is happening on the beach is going to be filmed. So you want to be on your A game. And so it brings out the best in us in so many ways. It brings out the best in the way you handle the public and the way you speak to them. And there's so many things happening down there. So it just makes sense that there is a TV show about the lifeguards at Bondi.
That's awesome. I think the crew will be very happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing that, Harries. And speaking of which, you being the same man, whether or not the cameras are there or not, we've got a video of you from season 15 where you're rescuing a man who ignores the warnings of beach closure. And this is what happens if you get on the wrong side of Harries. We're going to roll that clip.
When you have a guy like this that's just gone out past the signs, hasn't even stopped, and just gone in and got himself in a situation, you're going to get upset. You're definitely going to get emotional.
Keep your hands down on the board.
When people go into the water, it's putting other people's lives in danger. You're doing your absolute best. You ain't got a cape and you're trying to save someone. Have a look, your mate nearly drowned.
Okay.
Have a look at the signs.
Yes.
You educated?
Yes.
You can read those signs? You nearly drowned, mate. How much is your life worth? How much?
I completely understand how Harries feels. If Harries wasn't there, certain death.
Yeah.
So I think,
it's, it's really hard being the laughable larrikin lifeguard, right? And then I remember that moment so clearly and distinctive being down on the beach because I'd done like 3 or 4 PA announcements to that guy and he acknowledged me and then I think it was on the second PA announcement, he's like giving me like the birdie, like beat it, you know what I mean? And the third thing is he could speak English and he was saying to me, no English when we got back to the beach. But you know, like it's so funny. I know ignorance is bliss, and it's part of my job to do this, you know, to ferry that person back to the beach. But I remember we were so damn busy on that day, and for me to make him a VIP guest at the beach, you know, based on other people drowning around us, you know, like I just felt it was so unfair. Sometimes it's really hard for me to watch stuff like this, and this has really been open now. Because I'm so happy and, you know, I don't really get angry. Everyone gets attacked down on the beach, no matter who you are.
Absolutely.
Hugh Jackman or Tom Cruise would get attacked down on the beach, or Hugh Grant. But it's...
I feel like the person you most likely want to be out of those two would be Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I like him. He's a great actor. I like all the naughty ones. But yeah, look, you know, Will just said, Dan, if I didn't rescue him, he would have drowned, that guy. And to put it in perspective to everyone out there, and trying to make it as light as possible, when you see someone on the bottom of the ocean and you're on the top of the ocean and you're looking down at them, they're looking up at you through the ocean for the last time if you don't get them, it's a pretty heavy thing. And people drown really quickly. Litres of water go into someone's body. So, you know, he doesn't realise that, but I know. And to have him back, and now hopefully he watches Bondi Rescue and realises how lucky he is.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And to be honest, we all appreciate how stern and firm you are in that situation. It's absolutely necessary to whip people into shape and realize how serious it is. And I think, yeah, it absolutely makes sense. So I think Bondi is very lucky to have you there. All the tourists that come down are very lucky to have you there. So I'm glad that you did save his life.
You know what I should do from now on? I should just say to him, listen, before I get you, you download my Pilates app. Start doing your breathing exercises.
Then he might have stayed up for longer. Yeah, he might have stayed up for longer. Now, we're going to roll back.
Yeah, go.
No, don't worry. We're going to roll back to the very first episode, the very first series. So for those of you guys who don't know, that Harries has been in the show since the very, very first series. And this is a little video of Harries' relaxed attitude when it comes to face-to-face encounters with sharks.
When a shark turns up at Bondi, normal people get out of the water. But Anthony Carroll, better known as Harries, went in to investigate.
Come up 5 metres from me. The fin come up first, which is at least about that high on the ski. So I had a second look to think, is it a whale? But it wasn't a whale, and it wasn't a sunfish either. It was a great white. I'd seen the whole front of it right into its eyes. Definitely the biggest animal I've ever seen in the ocean. I was 5 metres from it, and it was actually coming towards me. That's how I seen the eyes and the shape coming right in. So at any time he could have launched. He could have launched right into me hairstyle.
Does that feel like a long time ago for you?
Mate, it's so fun. I'm just looking at me jawline. And that mine's gotten a little bit puffy since then. Oh my God. But that famous line about launching into the hairstyle. I remember we were all at the pub. We were at the local Bondi pub when they launched Bondi Rescue, and I thought, well, you know, if we get a couple of dates out of this show, it'll be a great thing, you know. Surely they're gonna work us out and think they're gonna take us off air. But you know, I remember the whole crowd just laughing their head off. I'm thinking, this is, you know, what about your hairstyle? I just remember all the tourists, you know, so many UK tourists in this pub, the Beach Road Hotel, it's called, of all things, and they're all like, my God, it could have launched into your hairstyle. So yeah, I remember it well. It was a massive shark, and that's how we actually got Bondi Rescue. So some of the people that were producing the show at the time were trying to get the show, and they nearly had it over the line, but that was way of actually getting the TV show. It went back to the managers of the Channel 10, and they said, yeah, let's get it. So I feel quite good about creating a bit of history there. But I remember...
Ben Davies must love you then.
Yeah, I remember Ben Davies ringing me and saying, it was one of the managers from Channel 10 said yes, and there was two other managers that were not too sure about how it would go. And when people were ringing me from all over the world, radio, so I remember training in the gym and people were ringing me from all over the world saying, so Mr. Carroll, what did you see out in the water? And I said, mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a predator amongst us.
Hey, another question for you, by the way. You seem to look... Yeah, sorry, there's a small delay there. You seem to look pretty much exactly the same today as you did in Series 1. I find that a bit weird.
Oh, yes, well, let's just say in America what they would say is keeping up with the Kardashians.
Well, you still look like a beautiful man, Harry. So you're holding yourself extremely well. We're going to move to some super chat again.
We love Brucey Jenner, but I'm not going to change.
Yeah, good. You are perfect just the way you are. And if you did change, that'd be okay too. And I'm sure Em would be totally cool with it. So Debbie Kelks, I'm so sorry, Debbie, I can't pronounce your name, but Debbie Kelks Walk. I have the question for you. Are you worried about doing rescues and not having PPEs, which is personal protective equipment, to keep you safe?
Yeah, well, on the jet ski, we have life jackets. No, I'm not that worried. I take it like on my surfboard, I've got a leg rope when the surf's big. And so you connect it to your board, you can always get back to a flotation device. No, I'm not that worried about PPEs. It actually can be a hindrance to someone of my ability because I can dive under and hold my breath for a minute. So I'd be able to get under a massive wave. Having a PPE will give you a lot of flotation. Yeah, so and to be a lifeguard, you got to paddle the boards, and I paddle the boards from an island to an island in Hawaii, which is the most treacherous waters in the world. It's called the Molokai Channel. So yeah, if you had a PPE, you wouldn't be able to balance yourself on the board as well. So yeah, I know what you're saying about having a PPE, but it works for a jet ski really well, but not as well on a board.
Gotcha. That's great. Great answer. There you go, Debbie. Straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, next question. Autism Warrior Dacia says, thank you for making lockdown better. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Hello from Staffordshire, UK. Olivia Nelson.
Yeah, we're stoked.
Oh, sorry.
We're stoked.
What was that?
Yeah, I'm so stoked that having Bondi Rescue makes it a little bit easier in the lounge rooms in lockdown, you know. But, you know, I always suggest that you have a towel over your shoulder, put your best bikini on, and then just enjoy the lounge room time. If we can't get out, you make the most of it.
That's very, very, very good advice. Very wise advice. Olivia Nelson says, are you still nervous around Hoppo?
Oh, yeah, Hoppo. Yeah. Because Hoppo and I, we roomed together, you know, going on so many surf trips and competition trips. So we've pretty much been to a couple of wars together, you could call it. But some would say it was fun. So yeah, always nervous around Hoppo. Yeah, he said we've always got tricks, and we don't know what tricks we're going to have up our sleeve.
Right. There you go, Olivia. Okay. Il Cooper says, what customers do you find the hardest to deal with?
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes you just can't make everybody happy at the beach, and people, for some reason, come down to Bondi and they think that it's their land or that they need their own space on the beach or out in the ocean. And you could imagine it's the Bondi is a kilometre long, so it sounds like a big beach, but when you're entertaining that with 40,000 people plus a couple of thousand people in the water, and someone says, "Can you move this group or surf group users over to the left or right?" and you're kind of saying there's one of you and there's like 300 or 400 of the other surfcraft user out in the water, so it becomes really hard. It's not like we can say go to another beach just around the corner because they're all packed too. So yeah, you can't win every war, but you just do your best out there, and that's when you need PPE. You need a massive face shield and armor from some of those people.
Right. Yeah, you got to cop a lot of crap sometimes. I mean, I see what you guys do on a day-to-day basis because I live down in Bondi, and it is actually insane how well you guys cover that beach and how quickly you cover from end to end, and how you deal with people giving you shit too. You're very, very, very adept at that. So,
Yeah, we had people. We had people going off their brain when COVID was on, when we had the fencing up at Bondi. And I could feel their pain because when you live at the beach or you go to the gym or you have a habit, you become habitual in those habits. And obviously, I can't live without the ocean, and I understand people's pain and sufferance, of taking the ocean and the beach away from them because, it's not just about physical health; it's about mental health too. That that we all need. So we go to our habitual habits that, like I understand when people were losing it at us, and you just want to reach out and hug the poor people. And we had to social distance. So these bloody hair hugs are like playing an air guitar. You can't hear too much.
Yeah, hopefully they're all getting through it though. I guess it is a crazy time for everybody. But this is a great time to be going into the next segment. And the next segment is diving into the shark nets, where we look at all of your secret moments on the internet.
In the summertime, baby, right in the summertime.
Just in case you missed that, that went twice. Now, Harries, you've been on social media since about 2012. That's about 9 long years. So therefore, we've got a lot of stuff to dig through, which is awesome for us, probably less awesome for you. But first of all, we're going to go back to 1996 when you first started at Bondi as a casual lifeguard. And it doesn't look, like I said before, not much has changed.
Too funny. Oh, my. Yeah, well, like that was, I'm wearing it looks like a stack hat. Back in the day, we used to have helmets called stack hats, and that looks like I've got a stack hat on. I should be probably on Star Wars or something like that, flying with Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Do you remember what it was like when you, like, very first day, like rubbing shoulders with the old lifeguards, with the big boys, and you were like the little fish in the big pond?
Yeah, I remember my first day at work. I was with Hoppo, and we used to sit. Back then it was a lot different. We used to sit on lounge chairs out in the sun, and trying to get an even tan, and just enjoy. It was very enjoyable back then. It was a lot easier, and there wasn't the respect that we've gained from Bondi Rescue that we have now from the public. And I remember looking out into the ocean on my first day, and this person was about 600 to 700 meters out to sea off the back of Bronte, and I said to Hoppo, "Hey mate, is that normal that person should be out there like that?" And he said, "No, not really. Not. Let's have a look in the binoculars." And so I paddled out to this girl, and on my first day, and she was an American lady actually, and she was trying to take her life. And I got out there and I said, "Are you okay?" And she's crying, and she said, "I just want to swim out to sea." And I said, "Well, from Bronte, if you keep heading out to sea, you'll end up in New Zealand, and New Zealand's a nice place." I said, "But it's quite cold at this time of the year, so you might want to come back in and get a wetsuit if you're going to swim all the way across." So she's like, oh, I'll get on your board. So we paddled back into the beach together, you know, and by the time I got to the beach, I'm like saying, you know, maybe I should, you know, come up and have a coffee and let's warm you up and you'll be fine. And, you know, so, you know, I kind of talked her out of it, and I just really used life skills. I wasn't using skills as a lifeguard because it was my first day. I was like, you know, you're an amazing person. Can't believe how good you swim. You got, you know, 600 to 700 meters out to sea. You're a good swimmer. She said, yeah, I've been swimming since I was a kid. I said, you know, do you feel good in the ocean? She loved it. So I was kind of talking her out of that pain. And from that day on, I knew what I was there for. I was there to aid people and help people. And that was something that I was really attracted to. You know, I'm not the best reader or writer. My wife's done a degree in journalism, and she's incredible at that. But what I'm good at is helping people, and what I'm passionate about is making sure people survive. And, you know, from that first day, I feel really good about what I've done.
Absolutely. And speaking from that first day, this next image is probably a very good indication of how old you are because it's black and white. So I can barely tell which one is you, but for those of you who don't know, Harries actually has a twin brother, Sean, who also used to be a lifeguard down in Bondi. What's your bro doing these days?
Sean still surfs. He was a plumber, and he helps my mum and dad now. Actually, of all things, he's a carer, and he helps those because they can't. They're just that. Yeah, they're 83. My parents, they grew up like, so that beach in the background there is Bronte Beach, which is the second most dangerous beach in Australia. The surfboard to my left that the guy's holding there, that's Kerbox's surfboard when he was on the pro tour. So
wow.
He was so that's Rod Kerbox. He was at the time he was world number 6.
Is that Kerbox in the middle?
No, that's so off to the left there. It's a guy named Jamie. So he's that's Kerbox's board, and the taller guy on my and the taller guy on my right, it might be your left. The taller guy is another guy that I grew up with at Bronte named Troy Yates. Those dangerous current signs in the background there, they were so effective. You know, so they did a better job than the signs that we have now. You know, because it just has a cross for a swimmer now, whereas those old signs are better. They're longer. People kind of, I don't know, they looked at the signs more.
They work.
And I remember I was 14. I was 14 in that shot. So I'm 44 now.
That's why it's black and white, right? So like that 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, we got one other photo of you here that we found. This is more of I think this is one of our favorite movies. This is one of our favorite moments of you being you.
Oh my God, yeah.
Do you remember this moment?
Well, yeah, there's nothing like it. Oh God, yeah, cross-dressing. I can see the beard coming through too. Oh my God, that's I don't say when you're on the beach it's a sad moment. I call this moment tragic.
It's beautiful. You look beautiful in this, and I think the long hair really suits you, and I love the color on your skin. I think it really works, and the necklace really brings out your abs. So I think you nailed the look. But we're going to go into Super Chat again. We've got a few more Super Chat questions before going into our little competition, actually big competition. So Miguel Becerra says, hey from California, when's the best time to visit Sydney? When is the weather nice and the city and the beaches are not packed with tourists? And of course, once COVID is not an issue anymore. So what time of the year is the best time to visit Bondi?
Yeah, I reckon February and March. And it's just iconic. Like, it's beautiful pretty much all year round. I can't hinder it in any way. But in Feb and March, the water is about, we have degrees here. So it's about 23 and a half, 24 degrees, which is extremely warm water. And the outside temperature is pretty much 25, 26 degrees. And the color of the water is crystal clear because we get offshore winds. So you're looking like the equivalent of Waikiki Beach when you're looking down from those high rises when you're on holidays. And yeah, it's paradise.
Yeah, it looks It looks amazing. Bondi is amazing all year round, to be honest, Miguel. But that is, I agree with Harry. That is the best time of the year. Last question, super chat. Mira Ricaldi says, "I'm a lifeguard too. I want to know, how do you stay under control during a resus? I want to be prepared. Thanks."
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm very lucky in my career to have resuscitated around 70 to 80 people that were clinically dead. And I've brought back probably 50 people from the dead out of the 80 people. You can't bring everyone back. You have to live with that. When people are younger, there's a bigger chance of survival. Staying calm and collected is absolutely paramount. And when I say paramount, I mean, if you don't help that person, they have no chance of survival. So I slow everything down and I put myself in slow motion. For me, it's about controlling not only myself, but controlling the other lifeguards and other subject matter experts around me. So it's one thing I see myself as extremely good at, being able to stay calm and collected in a situation, having loved ones beside their person that's dead, and doing your absolute best. But slow everything down. Slow it down. Make sure that you're in slow motion. Train. Make sure that you have that procedural drill over and over again. Okay. And remember too, whatever that you've practically trained in and that you theoretically learn is a lot different to the real situation. Just see it like UFC. You know, all these different martial artists come in and do their skill or what they're good at, and everything changes, you know. So don't worry too much about if things change. You just stick to what you know, your main game. Yeah, and like the pressure's there. Yes, there's going to be a ring of death around you, but relax. And I know that's hard to say, relax, but the more calm and collected you are, the more your thought train is going to be real active, okay? And that's all I do with the lifeguards. The first thing I do with all of them, I say remain calm, slow down. And slowing yourself down by doing that is imperative.
Excellent. That is very good advice. Very, very good advice. I hope, Mira, you're happy with that.
Yeah, I remember, you know, like there's so many things that happen, but, and I've made mistakes too, by the way. You know, I'm open to that criticism. There was a time when I had to defibrillate a guy, and I had shocked the guy, I think 5 times, and I'd been resuscitating him for over 50 minutes. So it's the equivalent of going for a hard run. I was really fatigued. My shirt was dripping wet. I was in the sun. It wasn't a soft ground. I had my knees on concrete, and there's a green and red button on the defibrillator, and I hit the green button, which, you know, is go to most people, but it says hit the red flashing button. You know, so I turned the defibrillator off, and you know, so I turned the defibrillator back on, and it shocked the guy within 10 seconds. But that was a mistake that I made. You know, I saved the guy's life from there. But things happen. Things go wrong, you know, and you've got to look at those things and go, okay, well, I made a mistake. How do I rectify those mistakes? I remember the oxygen had run out in the Oxyviva, and we're resuscitating a guy, and Jeffro was going to me, there's no more oxygen. There's no more oxygen in the Oxyviva, and I was like, if something happens in a situation whereas you can't concentrate on that tool, well, don't use that tool as a rule. Move on to the next thing. You know, a little bit like
absolutely
Pilates,
great tips.
So
great tips. Thank you. Speaking of Pilates, we're going to be moving on to our next segment. So our next segment is So You Think You Can Pilates.
The sweet times, the hot nights, everything's gonna.
Okay, Harry, so this one especially for you, given you're a Pilates master. So, as I'm sure everyone is aware, Bondi Rescue has a huge fan base all around the world, and we thought it's about time we brought some of these fans into the live stream. The last time we did this was 2013, so it's been a long time in the making. So we had some fans from around the world who wanted to ask you some questions, and we picked what we thought were the best questions, and we brought them into the live stream. So first of all, we're bringing in our Instagram winner, Brioni Jackson from the UK. Bing!
Hey.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome, Brioni.
Nice to meet you too.
So Brioni has been running Team Lifeguards, which is a fan page around Bondi Rescue since 2012. So she is very well versed in the world of Bondi Rescue, a very fierce competitor.
Wow.
For those of you who want to follow her, she's at Instagram.com/Team Lifeguards. So make sure you check her out. And she's also wearing, by the way, a Phillip Island motorbike T-shirt, which is pretty damn cool. So thank you for having us. Thank you for coming on the show, Reidy. Oh my gosh, I've got my my game show sunglasses. Apologies. Okay, how are you going, Reidy? Bryony, sorry.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Feeling
late.
pumped?
Yeah, it's getting late as well.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
gonna be fine.
It's okay, don't worry. It's only 9:15. It's not that late.
Oh, it's not that late. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, next we've got Jamie. So Jamie was our YouTube winner. He's also from the UK. Hello, Jamie. How are you?
Thanks.
Thank you very much for coming on. Thanks for coming on. So Jamie's a bit of a whiz with videography, with what we saw on his YouTube channel. Jamie, how are you going? You ready and raring for action?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. What's the temperature over there right now, Jamie?
-2 outside.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
my
I'm
God,
jealous of
Jamie,
your son.
Oh, you have to get a spray tan when it's that cold.
That is actually very cold. Sorry, I was just closing the door because miraculously someone's doing some work next door to the studio. At the same time we're doing this live stream, which is...
God, you don't want the snowflakes hitting that spray tan. I could only imagine in Bondi what they would say. They'll be going, "Oh, it's going to really spray tan." Nice, mate.
Not quite my style.
No.
And the next person we're bringing in, the next competitor we're bringing in is Facebook winner Madeline Tremblay, all the way from the USA. Madeline, thank you very much for coming into our little competition here. What's it like in Boston today?
Thank you. It was luckily sunny today, but here it's 39 degrees Fahrenheit, so it would be 4 degrees Celsius roughly. So it's a little chilly, but I think it'll be colder tonight. So.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're coping okay.
Stay
warm. Okay. Can you guys hear that loud background in the back for me? No one can hear that, can they?
No.
Does it sound distorted? Thank God. Okay. All right. Let's keep it rolling then. Okay. So we have our 3 competitors. This is a very serious game, by the way. Brioni, Jamie, Madeline. There can only be one winner of this game. This game is called So You Think You Can Pilates, or Pilates, however you want to pronounce it. As you know, Harries has been a Pilates instructor for over 10 years. He's a master in the art of Pilates. So let's just confirm this. So UK, Brioni, she's a meme queen, a very fantastic artist, a serious competitor. Jamie, passion for videography and Bondi Rescue fan from the UK. Third, Madeline from Boston, loves to hang 10 on her surfboard and is a very keen rower. Okay, you guys might be thinking at home, how is it going to be fair for Harries to be also competing? He's going to be showing you a move and then also doing a slightly more complicated version. So the first round of the competition is basically how long can you hold this pose? So it's going to look easy enough. Harries is going to show you the pose, and then basically whoever lasts the longest is the winner of this round and gets a point. It's as simple as that. And if you last too long, then Harries is going to make it slightly harder. And Harries, are you ready to show the pose?
Yeah.
That they're going to be performing. Wait. We're going to get... Okay, Jamie's up. Everyone's ready for action. And Harries, time to show the pose.
Okay, so we're not going to be doing any belly dancing type of stuff, but I would love to be a belly dancer in my next live. But we're going to be doing an exercise called the aeroplane of all things when we can take off and see each other again. Okay, so what we will do, we're going to stand on our left leg. All right, we take our right leg back about 80 centimeters behind us. You bring your arms out like you're flying a plane. Now, all we do here is we're going to lift the right foot off the ground, lean your body forward on a diagonal, like so. Get your balance first. Okay, it's easier on a harder ground, but I'm not going to let you know that. Okay, now with your hips, sit your hips back, sit them back. Good. Have your hands on your hips there. Good.
Jamie.
If your right foot touches the ground, you're all
out.
right. Now, we're going to make it a little bit harder here. We're going to bring the arms up in front. We're going to take them up overhead. Now you're going to take your right leg up into the sky. Excellent. Take your arms back out. Now you're going to rotate. Now, with your hips, you open your hips.
You're up, Jamie.
Over to the right.
You're up, buddy, but well done.
Right. Bring it back into center. Now with your left hip, take it over to left. Try and rotate through your navel. Good, let's go again. This is hurting me. This is killing. So
I
what
have
I
a
want you to
broken
think about
sternum.
here is think about your navel going around to the left and right, stabilizing through that left knee and left hip out to the left. Good. And I want you to sing on the way. Come fly.
We have a winner. Thank you, Harry.
Yeah.
We have a winner. Briony, you did an extremely good job. Briony, I believe you have an injury, don't you? Is that true?
Me? No.
Madeline is. Oh, no. I think Briony does. We'll come back to that. But Madeline, you are the winner of that first competition. You do win a point. You have won round one. How do you feel about winning round one?
I feel good. All those years of rowing have paid off.
It's a very special moment. All right, we're going to bring it back to the next round. We're going to bring it back to, okay, the next round is, let me just scroll down what the next round is. Okay, here we go. Okay, next round is going to be basically like charades. So imagine you're playing charades. Imagine your pose that you received was Bondi Rescue. So you had to emulate or show your partner the Bondi Rescue in a pose. So this is a Pilates inspiration. And so you might be holding binoculars, you might be holding a rescue board, even though you don't have one because it's charades. You need to show us your best Bondi Rescue pose, and the audience will decide who wins. Harries is also in this competition. You have 3. Okay, the audience decides, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I really like Jamie personally so far. But let's see what the audience says. Hold on, you got to hold these poses. Hold these poses. Got to wait for it. There's a slight delay on the live stream, so we need to hold the pose and see who's actually winning. Jamie is definitely doing a great job there. Oh, but someone said Madeline. Is that Maddie, Jamie, Harries, Madeline, Harries, oh, Briony. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's Jamie. Jamie's definitely the winner because Jamie pretty much died on live TV. Thank you, Jamie. And again, Jamie, that is an amazing tracksuit, the best tracksuit ever, and that is also a beautiful cat. Okay, so that's round 2. So Jamie has won round 2. Maddie won round 1. It's pretty tight for the last round. So the last round, okay, basically this is how well do you know Bondi Rescue? Now, I may have forgotten to tell you this before, but everyone is going to need a piece of paper and a pen. Can everyone please go get a piece of paper and a pen? You have 30 seconds to find that paper and pen. While we do that, I'm going to look at the comments while you grab that paper and pen. And we're going to bring back to everyone in the competition so I can see them. Does everyone have a paper and pen? Almost. Harry, do you have a paper and pen?
Oh, no. Yeah, the Cheese and Kisses is getting me one now.
Okay, Big Cheese is getting the paper and pen. We're getting in here. Thank you very much to the fans, by the way, for answering those. Someone's saying Harry's at the end. No, it's definitely Jamie. Too late. Okay. So the way we're going to do this, basically, I'm going to ask you a question. You have to write down the answer to this question and then show me the piece of paper, okay? So you cannot cheat, use the internet to answer this question. Whoever wins this question, it may or may not decide who is the winner of this competition. And by the way, if you win this competition, you win a free 12-month membership to Harries App. So it's a pretty good prize. And also, you could, of course, improve your Pilates skills. Okay, the question is everyone ready? Everyone have paper and pen? Deep breathing. Okay. For the last round, you need to answer within 10 seconds. This is how well you know Bondi Rescue. How many episodes are there of Bondi Rescue?
13 times 15.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Meh. Okay. Harries, you can go first. What have you got there? 195. Okay, that's pretty epic. Who wants to go next? Maddie, do you want to show yours? What have you got there, Maddie?
I have 250. I don't know.
250. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that's quite a number. Quite a number. Brianni, you want to go next?
Of course. I have 200.
200. Okay. And next, Jamie.
I went for 182.
Oh my gosh, this is so tight. I can't even do the maths. Oh my gosh. You know what? This is going to be really complicated. And that's not going to be complicated at all. Do you guys want to know who won? Can anyone have a bit of a feeling about who won? Harries, who do you think won?
Oh, Jamie.
Jamie won. That is correct. It is 180 episodes. Congratulations, Jamie. That is a very, very good job. But by the end of this year, it will be 190 episodes. So thank you very much, Reidy. Sorry, Brianni. I'm so sorry, by the way, Brianni, that I keep on calling you Reidy because one of the lovely people on our social media. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, we have a Reidy on our social team who's an amazing human just like you, and I keep on getting your names confused. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, thank you so much for accommodating for my mispronunciation. So thank you so much for all of your hard work, everybody. There is only one winner. It is Jamie. Well done. Would you like to stand up, Jamie, and take a bow?
I would.
Okay, please then bow. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Well done to you.
I'm so proud of you. So stoked. Thanks so much, everyone, too. That's awesome.
It was great. It was great. Okay, so Jamie, you're going to get a free 12-month subscription to Harries App. We're going to make sure that gets out to you. Thank you, Brianni and Jamie and Madeline, for joining this. We're going to be launching into our next segment, where you guys finally get to ask your one question to Harries. So stay on the line, and we're going to do a quick intro for the super chat. Okay, so the very first question comes from Brianni. Would you like to ask your question to Harries? Or I can ask it for you. The question from Brianni is, coming from a true Yorkshire person, can you talk me through how you would make a proper cup of tea, step by step? Now, you need to be careful with this one because British fans might go a bit crazy if you do it wrong. So we're going to bring Brianni on screen to get the react to Harries explaining how you make a cup of tea. You have 60 seconds, Harry. 60 seconds.
Okay. Just to give you some real quick background, I worked for Qantas as well, so I used to give cup of teas and coffee to all the passengers. So it's quite easy to make a cup of tea. So what we do, we boil the water. Secondly, we put the tea bag in the coffee cup or tea cup, and then we pour it in. We let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we serve it with just a dash of milk. And of course, everybody likes to eat scones.
You can have that. You can have it. I'm so glad you said that you were going to let the tea bag sit. When do you take the tea bag out? When do you take the tea bag out?
This is the big war that I have with my wife. I leave the tea bag in.
No, you don't leave it in if you've got milk.
Oh, you because you know what she says? She says if you leave it in, you end up sipping it like a lizard. It gets caught up. The tea bag gets caught up.
Oh no! Harry, take the tea bag out.
Oh my god.
Very important lessons there, Harry. So I'm glad you got to learn something from that, which is take that tea bag out. Thank you very much, Brioni, for that question. It was a great question. The next question, we're going to get Jamie to ask his question. Jamie, if you're ready and you have your question in front of you, are you ready to ask your question to Harries?
Yes, yeah. My question is, we've seen you racing your bike down the beach. We've seen the drone and the assisted surfboards. I'm wondering how you think improving technology will affect the future of lifeguarding.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question. The jet ski has definitely revolutionised the way we lifeguard. How I wouldn't use it 25 years ago. It was kind of just a cumbersome device that we had in the back corner of the shed. Now it's literally, I'd be the equivalent of driving the fastest like Porsche ever. You hop on it and it's so easy to use. I mean, there's a little bit of skill to it, but the jet ski is definitely going to be the future of lifeguarding, no doubt.
Well, I'd say I think you're probably going to maybe increase the size of your fleet of jet skis, maybe.
I reckon we'll definitely increase the size of the fleet of jet skis 100%. There's going to be so many factors that will come into play. One of them will be they'll become lighter, so that they'll be able to manoeuvre better off the beach to get in the water. Once they're in the water, they're fine. And the other thing too is cost of the jet skis are expensive. That price point will come down. They're incredible. And for me, being now 44, right, and to be a 60-year-old lifeguard, having something that's light and fast across the water, you'd definitely be able to do the job till you're 80.
I hope so.
That's the dream. That's a dream. Thank you very much for that, Jamie. And Jamie, I'm just wondering, did you have a suggestion around some great technology for the beach? You've got about 15 seconds, but do you have any suggestion about something that you thought would work on the beach?
I thought the drone idea that you would, with the drop-in life vests and things like that, that's probably gonna, that'd be a good place to start, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was it did a good job. The hardest thing with it was when you drop something down into a windy or a surf zone environment. It's really hard. It's nearly, I suppose, like putting a golf ball in the hole. You know, it's really hard. So if you measure cut, you're measuring once and you cut once, you've got to get it right and execute it. Whereas with the jet ski, it's a big area. You can reverse it in now, which is so much easier. You know, we used to just come up beside them and slide the sled. You know, you might see on Bondi Rescue where the sled comes around to them. But now you reverse the jet ski onto them. It's like 10 times easier than parking a car.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jamie, for your question. Appreciate it a lot. And thank you for your time and thank you for coming on board. The last person we have is Maddie. Maddie, you have a question all the way from the USA. Would you like to ask your question to Harries?
Sure. So yeah, do you like the color blue for your uniforms? Like actually and honestly. And what about the volunteer lifesaver uniforms? Do you like that one better?
I'm actually a volunteer lifesaver as well, and have been a lifesaver for 31 years, like an active member. Our blue shirts are really distinctive, and so is the yellow shirt of the active lifesaver. I think I just don't like the color of the yellow shirt. It just doesn't look at first. Okay, looking at It doesn't look sexy, number one. Yes, of course, people can see it from a long way away, but they look more like Ronald McDonald in those shirts. And me being a lifesaver, I would really love to see him change it to like red, or work together more with us and have a shirt that is distinctive based on global recognition, which is Bondi Rescue, and also using the red, which is also an international colour for lifeguarding, and have like a little bit of yellow, but not the yellow that they're using. It's just orange.
I agree.
I'm allowed to say it. Like it's like you're going through a drive-through Macca's with a Ronald McDonald standing there.
Very good question. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you for coming all the way from the US, at least via the internet, to ask that question and participate in the game. I'm sorry you didn't win, but you did do an amazing effort on that balancing performance in the Pilates. Maybe have a future in that space. Okay, now we're going to launch into the very final section, which is super chat questions from our fans in the live chat. Thank you very much for being involved. For everyone who is still in that live chat, I appreciate it, and we appreciate it a lot. A quick question from Annabelle Harris to Harries. Where did the nickname Harries come from?
There's a surf break just adjacent to Bondi, and it's like it's not very good surf break. And my parents live like, it's like how could you explain it? Probably 15 minutes from Bondi, which is 5 minutes from Bronte. And we used to go around to Bronte and surf, and they used to say, "What's Harries like?" And I said, "I don't know, I don't surf it." And they said, "Oh," so they just started calling me Harries, and I said, "Don't call me Harries." So that was at the age of probably 13.
Right, it's just stuck. Unbelievable. Kids can be so cruel. So cool. Well, I think it's actually very endearing. So, yeah, suck it to those guys. They gave it the best name ever. Tomus S says, Harries, who is your favorite to work with on the beach?
Oh, my favorite to work with on the beach. Well, getting older, right? It's you get, as you get older, it's harder to relate to the young blokes. So I really love working with Jeffro because he's just funny. He's like a ball of energy with hair that just, his locks are just going everywhere, and so he's really fun to work with. All the guys are amazing guys. They're all got so many beautiful qualities and hidden naughtiness, we could say. But yeah, Jeffro's lots of fun.
He is a hilarious human and has a beautiful fringe. I mean, what man can rock those long, blonde, luscious locks and just have a perfect fringe like that? It's very hard to pull off. He does it well. Okay, next question is, what was that?
Yeah. Oh, getting back to PPEs, we're talking about PPEs easy. Jeff, if Jeffro's going to come back as an animal or something in his next lifetime, he's going to come back as a gorgeous horse, pony, or something with that hair for sure.
Absolutely. I could like a little blonde Shetland pony would be. Okay, next question is, now it says it's Mr. Beast, but I'm pretty sure that's not the real Mr. Beast. I'm thinking someone who's just taken his name, but we'll go with it. What is the lowest legal age to be a lifeguard?
The legal age to be a lifeguard, I think we're saying around 18. I started when I was 19. I generally say now with a busier beach and a lot of exposure to a young person, I reckon around 21, 22 with a bit of life skills and coming on board would be better. But 18 is very young. You're exposed to tragedies and triumphs at the same time. But yeah, it's a lot to take on for a young person.
Right, gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, we're going to have a few final questions, maybe two. Okay, Ellie Bassett says, what is happening on the beach now because of COVID? Also, are you close to the lifeguards when you work outside of your work? So do you meet up with them and stuff? So first of all, what is happening now because of COVID at the beach?
At the beach, it's generally locals from around the area, and people are traveling from out of state and coming down to Bondi. But yeah, we have have barely no tourists down there at all. Like, you know, maybe 1 or 2% of tourists. So it's just that's okay. We understand, like, everyone wants to come back, but we're just at this stage. It's just the locals, and the beaches are still getting quite busy. Everyone's social distancing, and the lifeguards, we all hang out with each other. I'm a little bit different now. I used to hang out obviously a lot with the lifeguards off duty, but now that I've got, you know, a busy lifestyle away from the beach of having two boys and having a gorgeous
Where are the boys?
wife. So
where are the boys?
Where
are the boys and where are the wife?
Where's the Em's gonna bring the boys
Okay,
in.
awesome. Well, I'll just bring the boys in because we're wrapping up, so we're getting towards the end. But my one of the last few questions are: if you could work on any beach in the world, which beach would you choose and why? This is from Joanna Holly Turner.
I don't know. I you know, if I could work on any beach in the world, which would I choose and why? Oh God, I don't know. This might just be straight Waikiki, I reckon. Waikiki, be pretty cool. Like, you just be able to
That'd be
surf
amazing.
those reef breaks. Be so good. Here's
Hey.
He's just been skateboard riding. He's got his helmet on and he's got all his pads. And Leo, come over. No, the other one's too scared to come over.
How you doing, buddy? You been skating today?
Have you been skating?
Yeah.
What do you skate? And what
Yeah,
do you do on bike riding?
Yeah.
And do you surf?
Right.
Yeah, he stood up for the first time this week.
Right. That's amazing.
So you have a goofy and natural stance in surfing, and he's a goofy stance. I'm a natural stance. And so I was like, wow, like, you know, when you just think your son's going to be the same as you, but yeah, he's got his own little rhythm and melody going on.
No, beautiful thing, beautiful thing. Hey, guys, thank you. Thank you to all the questions. Thank you to everyone who has asked these questions. I'm sorry that we couldn't answer every single one, but we're running out of time. If anyone has, please leave a comment as well in the video of any questions you want to ask afterwards around any other lifeguards you want to have a chat with. Make sure you share the live stream. Make sure you comment on the live stream. Make sure you like the live stream. The more of these we do, and the more comments you make, then the more likely we'll do more, which I didn't quite say that correctly. Special thanks to Harries and Em and the family for being involved in getting up this morning. Appreciate that a lot. Em, you're looking amazing at this early in the morning. It should be virtually impossible for most people to look that good at this time. Thank you to the viewers for joining us from all around the world. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Don't forget to follow our new channel on TikTok. It is Bondi Rescue. That is really us. Trust me. Don't forget to check out our amazing merch. Don't forget to check out Harries App, which is Harries Bondi.
Yep.
Yep.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
God I got that right.
Yeah, Harries Bondi, download it. Send us a message on Insta and let us know how you go with it. We want to see you dance.
and again, thanks to everybody. If this all works well, we'll do another one very soon. Make sure you go check out Bondi Rescue Bali Season 9, and we'll see you when we see you. My name is Steve Crombie. Have a wonderful day.
In the summertime.